All right. Today we got a good stream. We're going to talk about my favorite Tesla so far, the Model S, the brand new Model S, or like the 2022, maybe even 2023 Model S, which is probably, it's a sick Tesla. I got to be honest. Like I've had 3 Teslas so far, not to brag or anything like that, but I've had a Model 3, a Model Y, and now a Model S, and the Model S is definitely a nice Tesla for the money, or at least the money what it used to be in the earlier price, but now it's definitely more expensive. But today we're going to talk about the Model S, what the current market is, all the inventory drops, and how you can actually get almost $7,000 off a brand new Model S today, or maybe not even today, like this week, because even if you place the order on it today, you're not going to get it for this week because it is the end of the month. There's a ton of deliveries going on in the Tesla market right now with each of the different Tesla stores out there because it's end of month, end of quarter, and Tesla really wants or really needs to push these end of quarter sales to get there. But we're going to talk about a Model S that I found that's a close to a $7,000 discount. We'll talk about the current inventory situation with Model S. I know there was a viewer out there that wanted me to talk about Model S today. And then we're also going to take a look at the used market. Like, are the prices still holding? And spoiler alert, they are not. They are not holding for Model S. And it kind of makes sense. A Model S is a super, super expensive car, close to like 100 grand, or it's over. No, it's not even close. It's over 100 grand brand new. And there's just not as many buyers in that range for buying expensive cars like that, myself included. And so, of course, demand is going to come down because there's just so many vehicles out there, both new, used, and demo status, that it's just going to put pressure on the market. So we're going to go into new inventory out there for how many Model S's there are and the discounts that are out there and see which one is right for you. And then we'll talk about the question, like, should you buy now this one of these brand new Model S's with a discount or wait? Or do you maybe do with what I would recommend? Go slightly used, maybe even a few months older, with hopefully you got the new tech with the new headlights, taillights, and as well as the swivel screen if you can get it, and just get a nice discount for a used depreciation discount on a car, because it's not like the days in the past where you drive off the lot with a brand new Tesla and you make money. You are going to lose money buying a Tesla Model S. That's a fact. And you're going to lose money 10 to 20% if you buy a brand new one. So why pay all that markup, or why pay that accelerated or that increased money when you can just get a used one and save yourself money? So we'll talk about the used Model S market right now. We'll go through some data points both in the auction and cars.com and see what's out there and my thoughts on it. And then, of course, the Q&A. If you have any questions on buying a Tesla, selling a Tesla, or financing Tesla, go ahead, throw it in the comments in the chat, and we'll get through it in the middle and also at the end as well. Definitely end through the Q&A. But today's video is sponsored by my Calendly link. If you're interested in buying a Tesla, selling a Tesla, or even financing a Tesla, you can schedule a call with me down below in the Calendly link. It's a quick way to schedule a call with me. It's a 15-minute call, and you can ask any questions. It's a one-on-one call. You can ask any questions about buying a Tesla, selling a Tesla, or even financing a Tesla. And before the call, you actually get a link to my buying guide, which has all the links that I use and all the resources to get the best deal and the best financing rate on a brand new car, really, and as well as some other broker links in there if you're interested. But definitely check it out if you're interested. But let's get into the video. But thank you everyone for joining tonight, and let's get into it. So the Model S, raise your hand if you are interested in a Model S, or if this is the vehicle for you. Definitely a sick car. And really the reason why I think it's such a good car is because it's a big car, so it's got space, but the main thing is it has air suspension. Air suspension with an electric vehicle really changes the game completely. It makes it way more comfortable than the Model 3 and the Model Y, in my opinion. But let's just jump straight into the inventory. So waitingfortesla.com is a inventory aggregator site. It's managed by a third-party person, and it just shows brand new vehicles out there on Tesla.com. And I've been reviewing this every single day. The day before we did Model 3 and Model Y, and today is Model S day. And there's actually a good amount of Model S's on this site right now. I think we were at like 90 something or something yesterday, and now it's at 112 112 brand new Tesla Model S's. And this is the one that I found that has the biggest discount. It's actually in Virginia and only has 86 miles on it, and it's got close to a $7,000 discount. It's actually $6,950 to be exact, and that's actually a pretty good discount for only having 86 miles. But the catch with this one is that it's a brand new 2021, which is kind of interesting. That means this car has been sitting in their inventory for whatever sort of reason, but it's been sitting for that long with only 86 miles on it. So it's not like it's being driven or anything like that. So really, I would say this needs to be a little bit of a higher discount because it's already a 2-year-old car. But if this is the exact build for you, this is exactly what you want, and you're going to plan to keep it for 4, 5, maybe even 6 to 10 years, then this might not be a bad deal for you. This might not be a bad deal for you because it already has a $7,000 discount right off the bat for a brand new Tesla Model S Plaid. Scrolling down to some other ones, this one I thought was really interesting too. This is a 2022 brand new one. It has close to a $3,000 discount with 31 miles as well. So this is pretty interesting because I think we're going to see a lot more price aggressiveness from Tesla, especially with these Plaids. I think we might get to the days before when what used to be $10,000 to $20,000 discounts on Plaids, especially if it was like a really hard driven inventory vehicle or a demo vehicle. But I think we might get there. Going to the data section of waitingfortesla.com, where they actually go through inventory drops per day and how many for each of the different models, you can see that we're spiking up a lot still for the end of this month or end of this week / end of this month / end of the quarter right now. So Model 3 actually spiked up a little bit here to 107 vehicles dropped just today. So they're really trying to push end of quarter deliveries as much as possible. And this really could be because they're giving up on shipping these cars across the country to the other side of the states because they try and basically at the beginning and the first and second month of every single quarter, they try and deliver these cars as furthest as possible. And by the third month, they give up and just deliver to like the Californias, the Texas, close to the factory so that they can just hurry up and get those end of month, end of quarter sales. But you can see we're spiking up a lot on inventory through the end of this month. And we still have another 6 days, give or take. Sorry, we ate some Indian food today, so like my voice is getting a little salty and I guess dry, but we're going to get into the used car market and as well as the auction values as well, just to see how it's going. But let's get into some comments. Let's see. Okay, Tech Unboxing, welcome back. Wow, exactly, a huge discount on that Model S, which is pretty sick. Welcome back. I hope you're having a good evening. I hope you're having a good night. Greg, welcome back. So let's see what you got. Greg, whoa, that's a huge Okay. Is there a new variant of the Model Y coming out? I've heard stockless and with a change in how the frame is cast. Could they be trying to clear out old inventory in advance of that? No. So what Tesla does is they just release new models all the time. And what they really do is they change certain features of it. So they'll like change like the screen swivel, like with the Model S, or they'll update the taillights or headlights, but they don't announce all of it all at once like other OEMs. So if those things are coming, it's going to be at random. It might be just be in the performance or in the long range, or it could just be, there's really no method to the madness. They don't release it all at once. So to answer your question, are these things coming out? Most likely, if it's already been announced, they are coming out, but there's no set timeline or time frame when Tesla's going to be like, every Tesla after this certain point is going to have the stockless feature or the new frame cast. They don't announce it as clear as that. And the best way to really do that, to really track that for yourself, is if you go to sites like Tesla Motors Club, which is actually a forum that other drivers and owners are on it, of course. And there's delivery and order tracking like groups or forum posts where people actually will post when they ordered, what they ordered, and of course later on they'll post what VIN they got, and then they also post even later on from that when they get the car, what features they got, like if they got the stock list on there or like a different frame. They'll try and itemize when they got it, and the people will actually show their reservation number or even their VIN. And then other people will start to track like, okay, if I have a higher VIN than that, which is a later production, I'm going to have these features as well. So it's really cool to see that people are like collectively trying to get together and figure this stuff out. So if you go to like the Tesla Motor Club forum, I'm not sponsored by them in any way, but if you go to their website, then just go to, you pick your model and then pick order, production, or delivery. And there's just tons of interesting data or threads in here where people start to track when they take delivery based upon their VIN, location, and everything. So definitely check them out, or check it out if you're interested in trying to figure out when people are getting these new features, and where your reservation number stacks in comparison to everybody else. But let's continue on with the Model S market. And the next thing we're going to do is we're going to check Car Gurus on their website. So Car Gurus actually tracks every single used car listing out there, and they track it all the way down to the per model. And this is why I've been saying that the Tesla Model S is going to not crash, but correct. So you can see right here, 2022 Tesla Model S, in the past 30 days, it's down 2.5% in terms of list price. And in past 90 days, almost down 6% in list price. So we are starting to trend down for the Model S. And just remember, this includes the Plaid and the long range. So I really want to see, and we'll do this on stream at this same time. Let's look at all the Model S's that are the 2022 across the United States. And I want to see what the cheapest 2022 refresh is, because my prediction was that we were going to get into the 80s by December. So I want to see how close are we getting there? Are we getting to the low 90s yet? Because we should be getting there pretty quickly, because there was a couple of vehicles that are in that price range from before. But okay, so right here, the cheapest Model S refresh, that's a 2022, is 95,750, and it's got 10,000 miles. The next one up that actually has 1,700 miles at 98,883, and then we can see a bunch of them are under 100K, or like a handful of them are under 100K. But let's switch it to the 2021, because I want to see if I can find the cheapest refresh out there. So let's see. So we're started by lowest price. You got to remember the 2021 included the old model as well as the refresh. So let's see if we can find one that's the refresh. This is it. Oh, wow. Okay. Wow. So this is the cheapest refresh in the United States at 85,980. That is not a bad deal. I wonder why they didn't wash this car at all. Do you guys see this right now? Do you guys see this? This car is like filthy. That's they just basically like took a picture of this, like threw it on. Was this a dealer or like a private sale person? But this is not a bad deal, I would say. It's not the best deal. I mean, this car, a 2021 Tesla Model S with that many miles, you're almost at 50,000 miles. So maybe this should be like 80K, but is this a dealer right now? Let's see. This looks like, yes. Okay, so this is a dealer. I'm assuming that since the pictures are so dirty, they must have took it in right when they got it on trade. But let's try and figure out what they might have paid for this. So how we would do that is we'd actually go to like the auction sites. And while this refreshes, let's see if we can find what some similar auction values for the Model S have been going for recently. And I want to try and predict. Okay, so it looks like there hasn't been too many 2021 Model S's going at the auction at all. I think the most recent one was 87,000 for 10,000 miles on it. So let's switch this to 2022 to see if there's any price action on it. So there's a couple that went this week. I think we already highlighted these in a previous video, but 93,000 and 90,000 with 4,400 miles and 6,100 miles. So this is pretty interesting. So we're not in the 80s yet in terms of the auctions yet, but let's check our favorite site. All right, let's check our favorite site, Car Buyer USA, to see what would Car Buyer USA offer on this 2021 Tesla Model S long range. That's the refresh. And this is kind of, you guys are watching exactly how I would price or see how much I would pay for a Tesla right now, especially a used one. I would actually take the vehicle that I'm interested in, put the exact vehicle into a trade estimator, one that actually would buy from you, not just ones that are not like KBB, because KBBs don't necessarily buy from you directly. They offshoot it to someone else, but wholesalers like Car Buyer USA will actually buy it from you. So let's see what they would offer. Okay, $75,000. If you could get a 2021 refresh for $75,000, that would probably be the deal right now to get. I think that's my new target. That's what I want. I want to get back into a Model S, a refresh, and I don't want to pay $75,000 for one. And I don't care about the miles. As long as it's got like under 50,000 miles, I'm okay. That would be a phenomenal buy, I think. So they're probably in this car about like $80,000. They're trying to make a quick $5,000, because even if they bought it for $80,000, they still have to do some maintenance on it, like detail it. I don't know, fix some scratches and stuff. So that's going to cost like $1,000 to $2,000 for them. So they're probably trying to make at least a couple of grand on this, knowing like how a dealer would operate. But that's still not bad. Not bad for a 2021 Tesla Model S long range refresh. So this is good because this has the nice rims. It's got good paint, the black interior. But the rims by itself, $4,500 for that option. This is actually a decent deal if you can get it for like closer to $80,000. But this is one of those vehicles I would go check out and see. And also it's got snow tires and rims also. So does that mean there's another set of rims available for this? So this is actually not a bad idea. Yeah, it comes with second set of rims and Blizzaks. So this might be a good deal, especially if you live in one of these areas where you need the winter tires or winter setup. So not bad at all. So let's go ahead and jump into some more questions. Let's see. Greg, welcome back. Harvey Briggs, are you planning on buying another Model S? Yes, I would love to buy another Model S. 1 second. I would love to buy another Model S. I think I would love to get into one for under 80K, maybe even like 70. I think 75 is a good number, and they will get there. They definitely will get there, especially the 2021 Tesla Model S refresh. They're going to be at the 75s, I predict, by January, February, because historically those 2 months, January, February, are low volume car sales months where people just don't want to buy. It's winter months. There's heavy snow, especially on the East Coast. West Coast, I mean, it's just a new year, and there's just not a lot of new car sales and not a lot of used car sales as well. So definitely a good time to buy, and that's when I predict Model S. That's why I predict Model S, the 2021, is going to be in the low 80s, maybe even high 70 range. Karma, you still have the Lexus? I unfortunately do not have the Lexus anymore. I've not made any normal videos updating my Model S, my previous Model S, or the Lexus NX. But I need to make 2 update videos for that because I did exit out of both of those vehicles for personal reasons. But it was just also a good time to get out. But yeah, so how hard is it to drive with the yoke? I'm quite curious, Tech Unboxing. It's actually very easy to drive with a yoke when you're going in a straight line. It's only tough or just awkward when you're trying to drive in like a parking lot. So when you're trying to do like tight turns or quick swivels and the U-turns, that's when the yoke actually gets a little tough and you just have to learn how to do like hand over hand. But driving in a straight line or highway speeds, kind of swiveling back and forth, it's super, super easy to actually do. But yeah, just going back to the Model S, my strategy is I want to be able to get in one at the target price range of 75, 80, and I'm just going to be patient and wait for that. I definitely think we're going to see a lot more price decreases, especially with the 2022 Tesla Model S, because there's another thing that's working against the 2022, specifically Model S, is that the 2023 Tesla Model S is coming out in late November or December. That's when they actually start to produce and deliver to customers. And it's not that there's any difference of features with the 2023 Model S. It's that this perception of a next model year, which then decreases and makes like a 2022 Tesla Model S 1 year old, and then a 2021 Tesla Model S 2 years old. So then that already puts like pressure on it, especially a car like that, which is in the 100K price range. There's less buyers out there, which means more depreciation, and there's just less demand for it because it's an expensive car. The one I had, I was paying a lot of money for it, and I don't know if I could ever do it again at that type of money, but I was really very happy that I was able to do it. Got to experience it for 6,000 miles and then just move on to the next one. But a couple things I want to go over today, which is pretty interesting with Tesla news, or some I guess we'll go through like these two tweets that I found was interesting. But Tailless of EV is another, or a YouTuber that does a lot of these kind of similar content, but more so Tesla news. And he actually posted this Twitter post today that I thought was pretty funny, in a sense that a maxed out R1S SUV is $15,000 cheaper than a Model X, which really just goes to show that a Model X is just absolutely insane in the price point of it. It's just I think it's way too expensive for a brand new Model X at $121,000. And the craziest thing is that, so I actually found a price tracking history spreadsheet that someone put together, and thankfully shout out to them for putting this together, but they basically tracked every single price mark or price increase or price posting of every single model. And the Model X long range, believe it or not, the brand new refresh it used to be $90,000, and now it is what is this? Like a long range, am I looking at the right thing? I must be, right? Yeah, a long range is $121,000. That's absolutely insane in terms of like that price gouging or price increase. But this tweet I thought it was pretty funny that a maxed out R1S at $106,000 is still $15,000 less than a brand new Model X. So yeah, $15,000, like absolutely insane. Which one is a better deal? Yeah, I don't know actually. Like in terms of like holding value, like retention, like the better deal, debatable, right? Because they're both huge cars, but in terms of which one holds better value, I gotta say, I think the Rivians are holding better value in terms of like MSRP to trade and resale value. But that could just be because it's like the newest kid on the block, and just trade values are just crazy right now, and everybody wants these cars for like the type of vibe that they're giving, with that adventureness, off-roadness, and they just look. I used to not like how they looked in the front because of like the big bubble eyes or whatever, but now I actually kind of like it. And that's probably because I'm just seeing it all over the place in California, because one of their offices is in Irvine. But definitely super cool cars. But in terms of like better value and better deal, I would go with the Rivian just because it's holding more value in the resale market. Karma, you've gone through so many cars. GTR was my favorite. It came from Jake's stream. Oh shit, nice. Jake's in Vegas right now. I was thinking about joining them, but quick turnaround. We got a lot of stuff going on at home, but I'd love to be in Vegas right now for like a day. But yeah, GTR was a fun car. That was actually my second GTR. I had like a lapse. It was funny. So I've had a GTR in like 2017 or something like that. I had it for about 6 months, sold it. And then once I got my first Tesla Model 3, I really wanted a car. I was missing that engine exhaust noise. So I had a relapse, and I was like, I'm just going to get another GTR. So I got another GTR, only had it for 5 months, but it had the exhaust. And then once I sold it, I was like, that's it. I'm done. Like, I'm okay with the GTR. It's definitely a fun car, but it's not very practical. It's just, for them going up the twisties in the mountains and just having a good time, and then storing it back into the garage and something like that. But Greg, Ford F-150 Lightning or Model Y long range, both 5-seaters. Are they the same price though? That's a good question, because the Ford F-150 Lightning, the prices I only seen has been like 90 or even 100K. But if you could get a Ford F-150 Lightning for the same price as a Model Y long range, then 100% hands down Ford F-150 Lightning. Bigger car, more space, I would say as well. And I would just say hands down, just go for the Ford Lightning. Model Y long range is cool, but I think it's overpriced for being $66 $100,000 for basically a CRV size sedan. I mean, it's a great car, good for what it is, but for it being $66,000, I definitely think it's on the higher end. Text unboxing, I rarely see Rivians really in San Jose. Yeah, that's interesting. I feel like you would see a lot more, especially in like the Bay Area, tech area, but I guess maybe they haven't trickled up there yet. Excuse me. I'm dying. Welcome back, y'all. FOMO. Yeah, lightning over Tesla all day. Yeah, especially if you're paying the same price for them when that question was asked. Audible. Anyways, but yeah, another tweet that I thought was really interesting is that, yeah, someone buy me a coffee is choking today. Yeah, I need a shot or something. This other tweet I thought was pretty interesting is this Chinese company, electric company Xpeng, basically just copied Tesla autopilot visualizations. It's actually pretty funny, and like it looks exactly just like Tesla autopilot. But I guess that's what maybe it's kind of expected for operating in China. But I thought it was pretty interesting that they that looks just like Tesla autopilot as well. The other thing that was pretty interesting in today's news or recent news is that Tesla recalled like 1.5 EVs out there or something like that, which is just absolutely insane. And it was really it's a funny recall because I think it was only recalled because the window just didn't stop when you would put fingers up there. But the cool thing with this that I found was really interesting is that to achieve or fix this recall, all Tesla had to do was just push another over-the-air update. They didn't have to bring in any of the vehicles into service or anything like that, and they were just able to handle it. But I guess they had to report it. They had to report the recall to the NHTSA just because that's how it works in the United States, and you have to report all recalls. But those are a couple of things I thought interesting in today's Tesla news. Of course, the Tesla Model S is definitely an expensive vehicle, and I feel like we're going to see a lot more inventory in the next few days as we get to the end of the month. And I want to see an inventory discount on one that's in like the $10,000. Once we get to that level, I feel like it's a good time to buy one if you're especially looking for a Model S. But at the same time, I don't know if a new one is exactly worth it unless you just really don't care, because there's a lot of used ones in the 90s where you can just get a 10% depreciated brand new or slightly used Tesla Model S and just roll with it for the rest of its term. So I would just take a look at what's available for the 2022 used ones, because there's some good deals out here as well, and I would just hawk it. Just like this one with 10,000 miles at 95,750. This car is brand new, 105. So you're already getting a $10,000 depreciated discount just for having 10,000 miles less on it. So if this vehicle works for you, it might be the one to jump on. But definitely super interesting what's going on at the moment. But yeah, let me know you guys' thoughts on the Model S. And if you're shopping for one, or if you have one on order, and if you have one on order, do you have like a really old price point? Because that's probably where you're in the money right off the lot. If you have one at like the 90K or even the 80K price point, then that's a completely different story on that. But yeah, thanks for watching this quick stream on the Model S market and the discount that I found out there. That's almost $7,000. Definitely hit that like if you're enjoying these streams. Also hit that subscribe. Comment below if you have any questions on Tesla buying or selling or even financing a Tesla. And definitely check out my Calendly link down below in the description if you want to schedule a call with me for a one-on-one call where you can ask me any questions about buying, selling, or even financing a Tesla. I'd love to hear from you. All right, guys, have a good night, and we'll see you tomorrow.